Welcome back to the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, my favorite fighter, or at least one of my favorite fighters, Vergil Ortiz, had a controversial stop this past weekend, and he's in a position now where I wouldn't necessarily say he can dictate anything, but certainly there are fighters that are interested in getting into the ring with Vergil Ortiz.
Yeah.
One of those fighters is Tim Tszyu. Now, Tim Tszyu recently tweeted out, actually the night of the fight, he tweeted out and said he wouldn't mind putting on a classic with Vergil Ortiz. And Vergil Ortiz mentioned that, yeah, he figured that he wouldn't. And let's make it happen. Now, could this possibly be the next fight for Vergil Ortiz? I don't know. Maybe. He seems very interested in making this fight. He talked about the fact that he wanted a Tim Tszyu or a Jermell Charlo fight prior to the fight. And he blew out his opponent this past weekend in one round, lost it in one round. And so now he's in a position, if he chooses to, he could probably force the hand of Golden Boy Promotion, who I would suspect would not be interested in a Tim Tszyu fight, regardless of what Oscar De La Hoya had to say during the post presser, where he said whatever Vergil Ortiz wants to do, they are aligned to it. My question is, Jay, when you think about Vergil Ortiz, the long layoff, what we've seen in other fighters in terms of their performances after long layoffs, I'm talking about the Errol Spences and the Deontay Wilders of the world. It would not be wise, in my opinion, for Vergil Ortiz to step into the ring with one of the top fighters at 154 pounds. I personally feel that Vergil Ortiz stepping in the ring with Tim Tszyu, and this is even if he had been active, could be a situation where he's biting off more than he can chew right now. Vergil is moving up to 154, and even if he had been active, it's probably smart to get yourself properly acclimated to the weight. Tim Tszyu he's been showing that, and been showing and proving rather, that he is top notch in the division. So I personally feel like he was going to bite off more than he can chew if he steps into the ring with Tim Tszyu next. They got similar styles in terms of their ability to stalk fighters, throw hard shots, upstairs and downstairs. I personally believe that Vergil Ortiz is the better boxer. I think Vergil is faster. I think Vergil is probably the more skilled fighter, but at the same time, you're moving up in weight, and we've seen again what inactivity can do to a fighter. Tim Tszyu has been extremely active, while Vergil Ortiz has been very limited in his activity in the ring. So I believe that he's gonna bite more than he can chew if he steps into the ring with Tim Tszyu next. What's your thoughts on the potential of a Tim Tszyu versus Vergil Ortiz fight next?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's too soon for Vergil just because that wasn't even a fight. That was just not even a full round of boxing that he got in with that guy.
Facts.
So, I mean, I wouldn't want that. I want to see him, get at least 1 to 2 more fights at 154, to your point, of getting acclimated to that weight class. And what I was doing, I was looking to see where Vergil was ranked at, and he's not ranked in the WBO. That's the belt that Tim Tszyu has. So how they would go across that and bumping others down, I'm not sure. But he's not ranked in that sanctioning body. He is ranked in the WBA. He's ranked number 3 in the WBA. And yeah, that's the only one he's ranked in right now. It'll probably be updated after this fight here, because this is his first fight and only fight at 154. So things probably get updated. Now if Vergil gets another fight in, that'd be a good thing to do. Then it'll be a great fight, I think, with him and Tim Tszyu. That way he's fully acclimated. He's had a chance to cut his teeth at 154. And then no one can say, well, he needed one more fight, because he's been out of ring he was out of the ring for over a year, fighting Rabdo, and he had to move up. So that's concerning, man, because Tim Tszyu ain't no easy win. It's a lot of other fighters at that weight class I wouldn't mind seeing him fight before he gets to like a Tim Tszyu. He could fight like a Terrell Gaucher. I think that'd be a good step up for him. You get some work rounds in. Gaucher is a good boxer. He's not necessarily a heavy puncher. So that lets Vergil acclimate to the weight, as well as someone like a Brian Mendoza, who's a tough fighter. but that's still someone that can give him some work in that ring and get him acclimated to a Tim Tszyu type fight while he works his way up. Or even a Jesus Ramos, who had a tough fight against Lubin and just lost. That'd be another good step up for him. And that'd be a damn good fight, I think, for now. But I don't think I want to see him fight Tim Tszyu just yet, just because off for a year. Basically, honestly, he's been off the whole time because I can't even really say that was a fight. To be fair,
Right.
because he didn't have enough time in that fight because he got stopped very early on that fight. So, I don't want to see him fight it just yet. I'm definitely intrigued to see it fight in the future fight with him, with those two. So, plus Tim Tszyu, Josh Kelly's number one, Erickson Lubin's number two, Xander Zayas number three. Those guys are going to be pissed if he jumps the line like that. Never been at the weight class and just fought one half a round. All of a sudden he gets the title shot. So they're going to be pissed at that, rightfully so. So I think Ortiz, if he does get a Tim Tszyu fight, being that Tim wins his next fight, that won't be till the end of this year, into 2024. I can see that happening, but not next. I don't think that'll happen.
There's a number of fighters that he can step into the ring with at 154 in order to get his feet wet and get acclimated at the weight class. Brian Mendoza comes to mind of an opponent that he could get into the ring with, although Brian Mendoza would be a tough fight for him as well.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, man, who's another soft touch to put him in the ring with, but will be a step up versus
Terrell
Lawson?
Goucher.
Who?
Terrell Goucher. Terrell Goucher.
Yeah, Terrell Goucher.
He's
That
the one
makes
that
sense.
he's the one that knocked Tim down in the first round,
Yeah,
and Tim
yeah.
flatlined him pretty much the rest of the fight.
That would be a good fight
Yeah,
for him. I'm trying to think
decision.
of anybody because there's a number of names to make top fights though. I mean, Fundora, Lubin,
Yeah.
Ramos, all of those names, Tim Tszyu, all of those names work in terms of making really compelling fights for him. But what's that fighter that will give him that next level step up where you can say, you know what, he's back and he looks really good in the ring,
Yeah.
and it's a performance that we can actually believe in versus what we saw this past weekend. But absolutely
Brian
not.
Mendoza did great.
That'll be a good fight, but Brian Mendoza's gonna be a tough out with the power and everything like that. I mean, I can see him being
He
a
is,
tough.
but he gets hit a lot.
I
He
don't
gets hit
disagree.
a lot. He's hittable,
Uh,
and I think that works to Virgil's advantage at that point there.
Virgil is susceptible to get hit too, and Brian Mendoza has shown what he can do if he lands something solid. So, but no, I mean that would be a step up fight, but not quite to the caliber of a
Tim
Erickson
Tszyu.
Lubin or a Tim Tszyu or a
Yeah.
Jamel Charlo or anybody like that. So we'll see what ends up happening. You guys tell us what you think in the comments section. Would you like to see Vergil Ortiz in a ring with Tim Tszyu next? Is it too much for him? Would he be biting off more than he can chew? Let us know. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are